So now we will see what is controlling scope process. The scope control involves the controlling changes to the project scope statement or document. In order to control and manage all of the changes inside the project scope is basically called controlling scope process. So the goals of scope control is basically to influence the factors that causes the scope changes and assure the changes which are processed according to the procedures developed as a part of integrated change control. Number 3, manage the changes when they occur. So in order to control the scope, we need to influence the factors that causes the scope changes. Means we need to highlight those set of factors which will cause the scope changes, as well as we need to ensure the changes are processed and controlled according to some set of appropriate procedures developed as a part of integrated change control process. And finally, we need to manage the changes whenever they will occur. Variance is the difference between the planned and the actual performance. So, we will control the scope in order to balance the variance between the planned and the actual performance. So, we will see what are the suggestions for reducing the incomplete and changing requirements. For this purpose, we need to develop and follow the requirements management process, which involves the requirements solicitation, analysis, specification, modeling, validation, and management processes. So for this purpose, to reduce the incomplete and changing requirements, we must use effective techniques such as the prototyping, the use case modeling, and joint application development techniques to get the more user involvement. So in order to get the complete set of requirements and the consistent requirements, we must adopt such techniques through which we can assure that the requirements we are gathering are those which are basically suggested by the users. So we need to focus on such activities in which we can involve the users more and more effectively. So those techniques are the prototyping, the use case modeling, and JAD sessions. Put the requirements in writing and keep them current. Now this is the point you need to document all of the set of requirements in order to keep the correct record and the current record of all of the set of requirements with appropriate details and specifications. For this purpose, you need to create a requirement management database for documenting and controlling the requirements. So in order to get the complete and consistent requirements, you must have a manageable requirements database in order to document and in order to control the set of requirements. So, in this particular chapter, we studied the project scope management includes the processes required to ensure that the project addresses all the work required, all the requirements required, all the features or functions required, and only the work required to complete the project successfully. So, the project scope management includes all the related work involved to successfully manage and complete the project, and the main processes that will be included in this particular project scope management are the collection of requirement process, defining scope process, creating the work breakdown structure, verifying the scope, and finally controlling the scope. So now we will see the week number 5 tasks or assignment. For this purpose, you need to create a WBS, a work breakdown structure in chart form similar to an organizational chart for the information technology project described in the opening case of this particular chapter. And that particular information technology project is basically the upgrade project in which you will perform certain hardware and software upgrades. You need to break down the work to at least the third level of the breakdown structure items. So you will start from the level 1 and you will proceed to the details of level 3. So the purpose to create the work breakdown structure is to get the detailed view of the activities involved in the project that we can use to schedule the planning and the estimation processes in the project management activities. So for this purpose, you will consider the information technology upgrade project, which will be described in the opening case study of this particular chapter, which is chapter number 5 of your book. So this was all about the week number 5 lecture. So we'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, Allah Hafiz.